Ahoy there, folks! I'm Captain Benzie, and welcome back to another video for EVE Online, where Capsuleer Day 21 is upon us. 21 years of EVE Online being celebrated. Oh boy, there's a decent amount of stuff to cover here. We're going to have a look at the login rewards and see what you're going to be getting throughout this event. We're going to talk about the content that's been added in-game, how to access it, and what you can get from it. And we're going to have a look at some of the packs available in store. Now, there is quite a lot to get through here, but before we jump straight in on this one, as usual, if you do want to help support this channel, you can do so completely for free just by taking a brief second to hit like on the video, subscribe if you haven't already, and do consider sharing the video with your corp mates and EVE Online inspired friends. That really helps me out. But if you want to go the extra mile, do check out my Patreon page, my PayPal tip jar. We have a merchandise store on Teespring with some really quality designs on there. I'm really excited about this stuff. It's so cool. And of course, you can join the channel here on YouTube as well to get some cool exclusive perks there. That said and done then, let's start off by having a look at the daily login rewards. Now, as usual, these come in two tiers, the Alpha tier and the Omega only tier. If you are Omega, you will get both tiers, and it's worth noting that if at any point during this event you upgrade to an Omega account, then all of the days that you have already claimed, you'll then be able to claim the Omega for. So if you get right the way to the end of this track and then decide that you want to go Omega, you'll have full access to absolutely everything, which I think is absolutely fantastic. It's a really great way just to maybe grab a weekend pack right at the very, very end. Anyway, so what do we have? Well, on day one, Alpha players are going to be starting off with the Capsuleer Day 21 Fireworks package, which will have a fireworks launcher and a load of unique fireworks. I know some people find this boring as all hell, but I genuinely love these things. I think they're fantastic. They're great fun. It's just, I love the fact that we get fireworks displays during these events launched by the players. We're also on the Omega track, starting off with some skill points. Now, don't worry, I'm not going to go through these blow by blow. As we go along, though, we start getting the Capsuleer Day 21 skins, which you can kind of see in the background here if I close all this down. As essentially this kind of purple and white coloration going on with these skins here, which is really cool. I love the look of these. The day 2 reward is the capsule one, so everyone can get that and use it, because obviously we all fly capsules from time to time, unless you're in nullsec and you never get blown up, but there we go. Let's not go down that one, shall we? Alongside things like the Mechobal, the Cheetah is nice and early on, which excites me a lot. We've got the Vexor and plenty more to come. We're going to be getting some Evermarks, some boosters, skill points are all over the place, and of course, we're getting the Society of Conscious Thought ships. Day 2 is going to give you the Apotheosis. The Apotheosis is essentially your little sort of shuttle, just for flying around. It doesn't really do much in itself, but it is a nice little shuttle just to, skim around New Eden in style. As this goes on, again, some more skill points a little bit further up. You're going to get the majority of the skill points on the Omega track, so that is worth bearing in mind. And Admiral Noir's Spiced Rum. What on earth is this? A bottle of Admiral Noir's spiced rum. Though often questioned for its quality, this particular brand of rum remains a popular choice for celebrating a Capsuleer's coming of drinking age, largely due to its affordable price and potent alcohol content. It's basically white lightning, right? No in-game effect, I imagine, just a cool little item that will remind you of this event. As we go further up the track, we unlock the Sunesis there, which is the destroyer of the Society of Conscious Thought. In my opinion, probably the least useful, other than the shuttle, of the Society of Conscious Thoughts, but it does definitely have its uses, and again, it's nice to have it. There's a Rediva skin on there, which is quite cool. The Helios on day 11. The Gnosis comes out on day 12. I like the Gnosis. It's a great battle cruiser. You can run C2 combat sites really quite comfortably with it. It does a lot of different things. Very useful in PvP as well, actually, I hear. Very cool ship there, available by the second week. Then we have the Kisriel Capsuleer skin. I love that the Mechobal and the Kisriel are getting skins here. I love both of those ships dearly. I do have skins for them, but these are such cool skins that I'm looking forward to it. We've got the Badger, then the Praxis, along with a load more skill points. Again, Praxis, battleship for the Society of Conscious Thought. Very useful vessel, often in quite a high demand. So if you decide you really don't want it, these sell for a fair amount after the event. Not huge amounts, like maybe 100, 200 million. But it's something. If you're an Omega player and fairly new to the game and you just don't want it, it gives you a nice little tidy sum to sell onwards. Marshall Capsuleer Day skin. Nice. If I ever find a reason to fly a Marshall, I'll have another skin for it alongside the unique content creator one. Sigil, Mala, and Zenitra. Day 21 gets you the Metamorphosis, probably one of the better explorers in the game. It is right up there with for me, as I think actually better than the Astero for pure exploration, if I'm being completely honest. I think it's got a lot more versatility and usefulness to it than the Astero does. Obviously, the Astero is based around PvP, whereas the Metamorphosis it's a little bit more nimble. It's cheaper, and it has the ability to use both the the combat probe scanner, which is pretty sweet and unique for a vessel like this, and it gets a wonderful little hold that allows you to carry a mobile depot for refitting, so that's pretty cool too. Moving further on past more skill points, day 23, 250,000 skill points. Check that out. That's a fun day to log in on. Then a load of boosters to round off, and then at the end of it all, the final boosters there. Again, most of the skill points that you're going to have available are on the Omega track. All of the ships there are on the Omega track as well, but there are some really cool skins along the way. So I'm going to claim those now and have those added in. We're then going to log in and take a look at the content and what that can do for you. So on logging into EVE Online, you should get a little pop-up that I won't have on screen here now because I've already seen it, that will just remind you that it is Capsuleer Day 21 going on at the moment. There's a load of new content. Be sure to check it out. How do you do so? Well, you come across to your Agency tab. Opening up your Agency tab, go from the beginning here, will give you this. If we go to Encounters, and then all the way to the left, Capsuleer Day 21. Now, what we have here are some challenges and then a tracker for rewards along the top. Now, let's have a look at the challenges first of all, because this tells us a little bit about the content that we're actually going to be going through in this and how it works. So first of all, urgent report. Society of Conscious Thought has discovered scattered emergence of new collapsed conduits from abyssal dead space in New Eden. Equip your ship with core scanner probes and a relic analyzer module. Scan down one of the desolate collapsed conduit site signatures, then enter it. Doing that, scanning one of these sites down and warping into it will gain you 10 points. Just remember that, and these will stack and accrue along here. Once you're in that site, use a relic analyzer on the cache or tower vault wrecks found within desolate collapsed conduit sites. Initial reports suggest these wrecks have a chance to contain materials and reconstructed blueprint data that will allow for the manufacturing of filaments, opening the door to the abyssal battlefields. These are like new abyssal dead spaces for this event. They look really cool. I've not had a chance to jump into one yet myself, but if you really don't want to do all this hacking and scanning stuff, you can just sell these, or buy them rather, on the market as well if you just want to go in that way. Again, doing this, hacking 5 of these containers will get you a further 15 points. So 25 points per site, basically, as long as there's 5 towers in a site. Then self-preservation, destroy a hostile drone while exploring treacherous collapsed conduit sites rather than the desolate collapsed conduit, or the abyssal battlefields accessed by the sinister exotic filament. So again, this will give you 5 points for destroying a drone, taking up to 30 if you go into one of these sites and get that drone, or if you do go into an abyssal battlefield, killing 1 drone will get you these. Now, once you complete these challenges, they will tick off, you'll get the points, and more challenges will appear, allowing you to engage with this content further and further. And the more challenges you complete, the more points you will accrue. Obviously here, I've done nothing because this is my trade alt, just to, showcase all of this. But as we go along, we start off with a capacitor booster, going into an apotheosis skin. Nice for that shuttle that you've just got for free on day 2. Some more filaments there. These will be some of the sinister filaments there to jump into the abyssal battlefields, which are really cool. Those operate like standard abyssal dead spaces. If you don't know how to use those, go check one of my videos on abyssal dead spaces. Basically, create a fleet, jump in. You can do it on your own. Metamorphosis, Capsuleer Day skin. Again, I love the Metamorphosis to pieces, so getting a skin for this early on, very nice. Some more boosters, a strength booster, into the Sunesis skin, a repairer booster, a Stormbringer booster. That's interesting. I thought the theme here was going to be the Society of Conscious Thought ships, but then we've got the Edencom one, Stormbringer for the cruiser. Very cool there. Moving into the, again, another filament crate, giving you some of those battlefield filaments for free. Going up through another booster to the Monitor Capsuleer. Crikey, does anyone still fly a Monitor? That feels a really niche skin to put in there. That is such a rare ship to fly. I'm not sure I agree with that one, to be completely honest. Wow, my voice went really high there. I would have liked to have seen that be something else. If I'm honest, it feels a bit of a wasted space, but I'm sure people who fly monitors are going to love actually having a skin for it, which is pretty sweet. Some more filaments, some more boosters with a turret booster into the Gnosis Capsuleer Day skin. That is, of course, the Battlecruiser for Society of Conscious Thought. Some more filaments before finishing off with the Praxis and the Thunderchild. So the Praxis being the Society of Conscious Thought battleship, the Thunderchild being the Edencom battleship. And then finally, the Glamorex crate. This, again, is some really nice boosters in there that you can use. We've got some information on the right here regarding the new content that you can read through to give you an idea of what this kind of stuff entails. Talking about the Desolate stuff and the Abyssal Dead Spaces. Then we've got the Treacherous Collapsed Conduits here. They're anomalies and will be automatically detected by your ship's internal scanner. You don't need to scan these down. For the combat sites, the Society of Conscious Thought recommends pilots use cruisers. So standard cruiser should do. Tech 1, obviously if you've got something like, say, a Vagabond or a Cerberus, those are going to be really good for this, or a Loki or a Tengu, that kind of stuff. Desolate collapsed conduits are harder to detect. These are the ones you have to scan down with a relic analyzer to access the stuff in there. Reports indicate collapsed conduits may contain filament blueprints and rare materials. Once manufactured, they'll allow you to dive into abyssal battlefields. While the new Eden sites are rated as low threat by Society of Conscious Thought, these battlefields are escalating challenges. The deepest battlegrounds will pose a formidable test for even seasoned veterans, which is why I'm excited to jump into those, get some footage, and show you how it all works. Pretty exciting new content here. A lot of stuff for combat pilots and for explorers. Industrialists, not so much, but of course you will be able to use this stuff here to actually construct those filaments yourself, which is pretty sweet. So if you've got people who can get those materials, you can use your industrial skills in order to manufacture them, and then either use them yourself or sell them on the market, which it kind of encapsulates all aspects of EVE Online. Finally then, let's have a look at the packs just been added to the store. Yeah, I know, Benzi's shilling for CCP by showing how you can spend your money. But you know what? It's worth talking about. Some of you do want to support development of the game, and there's some pretty cool stuff in these, to be fair. So let's start off with the Abyss Explorer pack. Now, this one is about $21. I don't know what that works out to in local currency off the top of my head. It's not too bad. And this is going to give you 30 days of Omega, a standard boost cerebral accelerator, alongside some skins for the Omen, the Prophecy, and the Imperial Navy Slicer, all getting police skins. And the police skins, I know, are actually quite popular, the Galente ones specifically, the Federation Police. So it's kind of nice to see some Amarian ones there. Yeah, they've still got the bone colour of the Amar Empire that I'm not a huge fan of, but I do actually genuinely like the pink detailing on this. I think that's really cool. I like the emblem on the front. These are pretty cool. They look better than the base version of the ship, at least. I quite like those. Then we have a couple of expert systems, one for exploration, which will give you the ability to fly all of the Explorer frigates to a basic level, allowing you temporary access to things like the Cheetah, the Anathema, to go out there and actually do those relic sites a little bit easier. And then the Faction Warfare Expert System. This allows you to fly various T1 and Navy destroyers, so it's going to give you the skills for destroyers temporarily. Again, this is clearly aimed more at newer players, I think. Interesting use of the Prophecy there. I would have expected this to be actually more the Coercer, something like a destroyer or Dragoon or whatever in there as well, so that we have frigate, cruiser, destroyer. But Battlecruiser, I'm not going to complain about the Prophecy. It is a popular ship. It looks a really cool skin. I can't really complain about that. If we go back to the store then, the other pack that they have just added, wow, that's really hard to click that arrow, is the Abyss Protector pack. And this one really excites me, and of course you'll see why. It's $70, a lot more expensive this one, but that's going to give you 1350 Plex, which is a lot of Plex to use for buying skins or paying for a Mega, or just selling on the market for risk. 2 Genius boost cerebral accelerators. I don't recognize Genius straight off the top of my sort of head. I'm used to things like, for example, the what they called? The Master at Arms cerebral accelerators. And standard and things like that. So Genius might even be beyond the Master at Arms ones. That's pretty cool. But then, of course, we get a Stabber Republic Police skin and a Rifter Republic Police skin. It does annoy me, I'm not going to lie here, that the Amar Empire gets a frigate, a cruiser, and a destroyer, and a battlecruiser, sorry. Here we get the eponymous Rifter. I love the Rifter to pieces, as I love the Stabber, so those skins will be getting used for certain if I were to grab this pack. But we don't get a battlecruiser. There really should be a Hurricane one here. The Hurricane is one of my favourite ships in the game, and I would love to have seen a Republic Police skin for it. I don't know, maybe that'll be coming soon, but either way, two very cool skins there, alongside the Skybreaker, the Stormbringer, and Thunderchild Aegis police skins. So if you like the Edencom vessels, then yeah, you can get skins for them. I do like the Stormbringer. I need to do a video on this in Abyssal Dead Spaces. I really want to get into a Thunderchild at some point soon. The Skybreaker, again, useful for Abyssals, lower tier ones perhaps. Again, I need to do a proper video on that at some point. I do like it. It's a cool looking ship, and these are cool skins. So I may end up grabbing that. We'll see how I feel sort of thing. But if you like your skins, your boost accelerators, and Plex, it's not a bad deal. I mean, 1350 Plex on its own normally would be, just for a value here, let's have a look, 1350 Plex. It's not far off the standard $65 pack. So if you're looking at $65, you get a little bit more Plex for $65, but for $5 more, a little bit less Plex. But you get the skins and those Genius Boost accelerators, and these are limited time packs, so in my opinion, kind of always worth picking up, you know? There's a lot of cool stuff there. But ultimately, those are my thoughts and my opinions. I'd love to hear yours in the comment section down below. Have you jumped into some of this content? What do you think about it already? How do you feel about these skins? What do you like most about those? Or which ship do you really wish that they had managed to cover in this? I've also just noticed it has Aegis written on the side. That's cool. I love it when we get a little bit of text onto a skin like that. These go really hard sci-fi there. Look at that. That's just, oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Anyway, my thoughts and opinions there, folks. Would love to hear yours. Otherwise, thanks for watching right the way through to the end. Happy sailing, and see you in New Eden.